Hey, what's up and how's it going, everyone? Well, I'm glad you took this time to watch this video right here today on this special edition of Superstar Spotlight. And on this installment, you will see my tribute. This will be my tribute video to the great Mae Young. So Mae Young's career started when she was 15 years old, when she was an amateur wrestler in her high school boys team, when she was 15 years old. And her brothers taught her how to wrestle during that time. So she has a really good support group early on, because she is the youngest of 8 children, and so she comes from a large family, and there's people there to help her out to pursue her goals as a professional wrestler when it comes to women's wrestling. Not only that, she played softball with Tulsa's national championship team, and while still in high school, she went to a wrestling show, right? And she challenged the champion at the time, and but the promoters told her that the champion has another match, so they put her in what's called a shoot fight during this event, and she cleaned house in mere seconds, won that match. Later on, the promoter came up to her and said that you have a job here now as a professional wrestler. And that's how it all started for Mae Young, and she made her debut on August 20th in 1939. In 1941, she opened up for Canada's for female wrestling, and worked for Stu Hart during that time, and that was pretty cool. She probably got to see the start of how Stu Hart was working up his promotion, as well, training other superstars. And this is what Mae Young has been doing as well. Not only she was a wrestler in the professional wrestling business, but she's also trained a lot of people along the way, trained a lot of women. One in particular, the fabulous Moolah, who became a multiple-time women's champion as well. So she paved the way for other women that followed. So Mae Young has that. Mae Young has that influential aspect to her. And in December 7th, 1941, she wrestled in Memphis, Tennessee, the day Pearl Harbor happened, when World War II started. And during that time, she took advantage of that. While the men were fighting in the war overseas, she took advantage of that and started to help out women in the wrestling business. That's when it all started. This is when the revolution is happening. While something really devastating is happening at one end, something great was happening in the other, and I just can't help but to give major props for Mae Young for starting this women's championship, really giving it the push. And because professional wrestling alone is a male-driven sport, Mae Young was the first to ever, and I mean ever, one of the first woman to actually pave the way for other women, like I said before, and help them along the way, and like I said, very influential. And going on into her early life after 1941, during the 50s, she wrestled Mildred Brooke for the Women's Wrestling Association Championship, and In 1951, she became the first NWA Women's Championship, and in 1968, she became the first United States Women's Championship as well in the NWA. So she had some accolades even back then. She was in her prime then, and after that, she had her second career in the WWF and the WWE. She is known for recurring roles on national television alongside her best friend, the Fabulous Moolah. She's well known for that skit for giving birth to a hand, which is probably one of the most memorable Mae Young moments. Maybe the most memorable when it comes to her comedy skits back in the Attitude Era. She helped pave the way as well for the Attitude Era as well. She was one of the architects to bring forth the Attitude Era. She was one of those people like Goldust, like Stone Cold, like DX. Mae Young is one of those people that helped to build the Attitude Era. Very important, I think. And I think if people don't give her the credit, there's absolutely something wrong with them. I will give her lots of credit where credit is due. Like I said, she's very influential. I cannot stress that enough, how influential she is, not only to the women's wrestling, but the professional wrestling business. In 2004, she was inducted into the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. And then after that, in 2008, she was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. And rightfully so. And if there's a Hall of Fame that is titled Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame, she should be the first to be in it. So, with all that said, going forth on this Superstar Spotlight with Mae Young, she is a very tough woman. I cannot stress that enough. Even though she's done her comedy skits, she's also done extreme skits like having Jeff Jarrett smash her over the head with his guitar. That's a moment. That's another one of those memorable moments of Mae Young, as well as Bubba Ray Dudley at the time, putting her through the table. And I like how the way he done it as well. And he even checked on her to make sure she was okay. And so I give credit for Bully Ray for selling that powerbomb through the table. And I seen in an interview with Bully Ray, he mentioned before this happened, he gracefully powerbombed Mae Young in the ring. And later on backstage, Mae Young went up to Bully Ray and grabbed him hard by the wrist and told him, "Hey, hotshot, next time you powerbomb me hard, like you're doing it with the guys." Something along those lines. And Bully Ray was like, okay. So what happened was he powerbombed her through the table. Later on, Mae Young told Vince McMahon that, "I want to be powerbombed on top of the steel cage." And here I'm thinking, oh my God, how tough is this woman? She has no weak bone in her body at all. She is the toughest person on two legs. Forget about Brock Lesnar or John Cena or Batista or whoever you want names throw in there. Mae Young is the toughest person on two legs. Absolutely no question about it. And not only that, in the professional wrestling business, it's a very serious sport as well. And even though, she has her serious moments, she's very fun as well. And it shows when she's on screen. You can tell Mae Young is one of those very few people that are having fun. And it shows while you're watching it on screen. Like I said, only a very few superstars, and one of them that comes to mind is Eddie Guerrero. You just can't help but smile when he comes on TV. The same goes with Mae Young, no question about it. I can go on and on and on about how influential Mae Young is. Honest to God, really. No question. And not only that, she even told Vince that on my 100th birthday, she wants to have her last match. And okay, right? And I was like, oh, she's almost there, almost had it. But you know what? I'm glad that Mae Young lived a long life. And not only that, when you really think about it, she has more years on anyone in the WWE or in professional wrestling alone. She is the only person, and I can't stress this enough, the only person in the professional wrestling sport to have wrestled in 9 different decades. That alone speaks volumes. From 1939 to 2010, she had her last match with Lay Cool where she won that match. And on Old School Raw last year, she celebrated her 90th birthday on TV. What an absolute great moment. And every time she comes on TV, she has a great moment even before the great moment happens. And that is very rare for someone to have when you're watching them on television. Well, you know what? Sometimes, you know, when you have something great, and eventually, you know, something happens, right? And what happened was that just a few days ago, Mae Young has been taken off life support. Now, there have been conflicting reports of Mae Young's death and, you know, people misreading and miscommunicating information, etc., etc. I'm not going to harp on that. What I am talking about is how great Mae Young is. Mae Young is a legend. Mae Young is an icon. Mae Young is a woman's wrestler straight up. And last night, January 14th, 2014, Mae Young passed away. It's a very sad day. Even though it's a very sad time right now, Mae Young has lived an incredible long life. Incredible long life. And her life should be celebrated. And her life is the most, not just important, but the most incredible career in the sport of professional wrestling. And for everything Mae Young has done for professional wrestling, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Mae Young, for giving us everything that you have done in the WWE and professional wrestling. And may you rest in peace.